Be here now. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the invisible world of Jeremy Jonz, where all things are possible when you believe. So hang on, here we go. Let's do this. One hundy? I love doing this podcast. I love that I'm here. You're here. Where is here? Here is episode 45, Fire, Aim, Ready? Part 6? Part 6. I'm Jeremy Jonz, and this is the invisible world of Jeremy Jonz, a place where dreamers and makers transcend illusions. Have you ever noticed that we don't talk very much about soccer? Let's change that. Today we're changing that. We should, after all, because it's the world's most popular sport. Have you heard of a player named Leo Messi? Messi. The GOAT. Of course you have. Think about the last game you saw of his, the last highlight, the YouTube clip, the product endorsement, the last championship trophy, the gold medal. Seems like the guy has done all right for himself, huh? One of the reasons he's the GOAT is because he nailed his sequence. I was curious. I went back and watched his first game. He didn't start off as the most famous, skilled, iconic god of the pitch. It's on YouTube. The link is in the show notes. If you care to watch it, it's cool, it's interesting. He wasn't even a starter. He was subbed into the game. Nobody even really cheers that the sub's getting in the game. It's toward the end of the game. You gotta get this guy in. His name's Messi. He's a bench player, the sub, right? He's not the starter. He's not the GOAT. Have you ever been a substitute in your game instead of a star? Didn't get as much playing time or credit or respect or progress or money that you'd hope for? Between you and me, I wanted to start off my podcast as Joe Rogan. All-star, Hall of Famer. You know, the guy who just signed a podcast deal for $250 million. Be able to have all the time, the resources, and the reach to be the ultimate podcaster. But here I am, trucking. I'm trucking 5 years. Has it ever been 5 years for you? I'm only averaging like 10 episodes a year. And I'm looking up at the scoreboard. I'm riding the bench, right? I'm watching the other players on the field knock in the goals. I'm swallowing the reflexive disappointment as the minutes tick off the clock. Sitting there sidelined with as much discouragement as hope. Sometimes we get confused. We think that where we are is where we finish. But remember, Jonz, it's just the beginning. The present moment is always the perpetual beginning of something. And the present moment is all we ever really have. Messi didn't look up at the clock as a substitute and say, well, I guess this is it. I guess I'm just a substitution level pro talent player. That's my lot. I'm a sub. That's who I am. Should be grateful to be a sub. Remember the natural law of sequence. Aside from your best aspirations, you don't actually start the game as Messi the GOAT, history record breaker, making gazillions of dollars, player, champion of the stadium. You don't start the podcast as Joe Rogan, the $250 million inked deal. At least what? Not in the 5th century outer world. You don't start as Messi the GOAT. You start as Messi the sub in the outer world. And that's where you, electrify your focus in your invisible world. We read that heaven is on the inside of us, not the outside, at least according to source Jesus, Luke 17:21. That's what makes Novak Djokovic so good. Snap back to previous episodes. You remember walking out on the court, already packing his championship jacket. It's in the bag. It's in the bag. Don't worry, it's in the bag. I packed the jacket. I'm gonna win. See it. Start stacking the steps in your mind. The skier, he doesn't start with the double black diamond, here be Dragon's Cliff route. The skier starts with what? With pizza. First pizza. You remember pizza? You lean the tips together, triangle slide, push the snow out, that kind of pizza. And then skis together for French fries, and then back out to pizza. On where? On the blue? On the black diamond? Is that where your pizza is? No, stop. You're not even on the green. You're on the bunny hill with the 6-year-olds doing your pizza and French fries, because that's the law of natural sequence. Here, lean in. Will you lean in a little bit closer? In skiing, no beginner skier ever wants to be on a black diamond run. They may have dreams, aspirations, invisible world, glorious visualizations of being a black diamond skier someday. But they have no problems being on the bunny hill with pizza and fries, because that's where you have peace and safety, even relief. In fact, you actually happily avoid the blacks. You happily avoid the place that you want to go. Fascinating. I'll get there someday. Not today. No worries. I'm not what? What do you say? I'm not ready. Got to work on ready first. No ego. I'll get hurt, messed up, total yard sale. And I even won't have that much fun if I get too ahead of my skis. Someday in skiing, we understand, is not just admissible, it's advantageous. Someday in skiing is okay. If we can be so merciful and patient learning to ski, if Bro can start pro soccer career as a sub, if Tom Brady can start his undisputed GOAT career as a substitute, barely drafted in the last round, question, why can't we do it with, say, money? With our character flaws, with the forever house, with the job, the degree, the promotion, the school grades, the new team, the new client, the closed deal, the ever-moving 401k goalposts, the lover. Right? We want to skip the natural sequence, be a supreme Instagram millennial hacker and start our first game as the world-famous all-star. Because that's who I am. I'm not going to sell myself short. But I want it now, Veruca. She keeps showing up, doesn't she, Veruca? Oh, man. Can't get rid of her. I'm going to stop trying. Forever House. I've been harping on that the past couple episodes. I do. Because I realize now for me, what's more powerful than my forever house? Not my forever family. Not my forever lover. Not even my forever podcast. But my forever now. Print that on a t-shirt. I just trademarked it, so you can't use it. But man, forever now. I want my forever now. To want my current reality, this moment, this now, with all its pros and cons. If I could just want that more than anything, I might be on to something. I believe we all start on step one. I also believe that we all take steps on the staircase at different speeds, comfort, and risks. I also believe that's okay. Maybe that's where the miracles are planted, up on the little steps of the staircase. So we put our focus into habits. Remember, you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your habits. Shout out to James Clear. So we put our focus into habits, not on goals. Have you ever sat there and just thought, you know what? I think Miley Cyrus was right. Maybe it is the climb. We can go faster, we can slow down, we can catch our breath. But like a baseball base runner, we have to tag every bag, hit every step. Sometimes I want to skip the stair steps and just be on the next level of my house. One of those early steps you must take is show up early. Show up to your game early. Show up to what you are trying to build early. For such a long time, I wish I didn't. Like, I shouldn't have to get up early and sacrifice. For such a long time, I wish I didn't have to. Like, listen, I shouldn't have to get up early and sacrifice, hustle, work. And I'm the GOAT and I shouldn't have to. What I didn't realize, and here's another secret, is that the GOATs are the best at going back down the stairs. I never knew this. Like, in the middle of the night, they sneak back down to step one and they climb again and again. And then they go back down to step one and they climb it again. That's why they have more lung capacity than the rest of us. They are running not just up, but down too, up and down the stadium steps. For example, it's well known that the world champion LA Lakers basketball team phenom, Hall of Fame player Kobe Bryant was known to always get to the court first. I kind of thought and presumed he shouldn't have to, because like he earned it. He can take his foot off the gas, coast a little bit, but he knew how important the sequence is. His coach, Phil Jackson, said, Kobe's commitment to his craft was unparalleled, often being the first to arrive at practice and the last to leave. And his Team USA teammate, Chris Bosh, said he would show up at team practice and Kobe was already drenched in sweat. So Jonz, step one, before you manifest your greatness, hit step one, show up early, over and over again. Tomorrow, show up just a little bit earlier than you did before. Maybe you don't show up tomorrow 2 hours early, right? Maybe that throws things off. Show up a little bit earlier. That's a gain. I'm going to say it. And gain gains gain. Can't help myself, dang it. Listen to what Will Rogers says. Even if you are on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. Don't sit around thinking you made it somewhere. Take your steps. Go back down if you need to step one. Get them down. Don't get soft. Don't get soft like Charmin, Kobe would tease his teammates. Jonz, have you ever got soft? Yeah, I remember that. I remember when I got soft after a bit of financial success. That didn't feel good. Remember to honor ready first instead of fire. When I remember to focus on one well-placed brick at a time, then I need to nail this step. And I'm not on the Joe Rogan's $250 million podcast step. Bro has his own house and his own staircase. I remember my core values and how I believe that I can find gratitudes and benefits in every situation. I focus on my staircase. What makes it beautiful is that it's the only one of its kind. I've accepted reality, for better and worse, because my staircase is the only one I can actually climb. Instead of being annoyed, I was grateful that I had the extra time to get my work done, uninterrupted, captive on the tarmac. And sometimes it's really hard, like when my brother died. Like when I lost all that money. That was a lot of money for me. Like when I watched my friend's child die. Like when I lost that key relationship in my life. Like when you didn't make the team. Didn't get accepted to the university. Like when you lost that big client. Like when that debt got bigger and heavier, not smaller. Like when you got into that accident. Like when your body broke. Like when you got robbed. Remember that? Like when you didn't get the house of your dreams. Like when you lost all that money in a bad investment. Then I can at least go back to step one. Step one, Jonz. I am okay. Jonz is going to show up early. And Jonz is going to show up and early. Jonz is okay. And even when I'm not okay, I'm okay, even though I'm not okay. Which is a great book, by the way, in the show notes. Maybe I don't see an altruistic benefit every time. But I've always been able to eventually find some gratitudes in every situation. If I look, I still miss my brother. I don't see the benefit. But I'm grateful for my brother. His creativity and humor continues to inspire me. Gratitudes. First ready, then aim, then fire. In the Elon Musk biography by Walter Isaacson, have you flipped through that one? It's a thick one. It mentions that Elon is able to focus on one thing at a time, puts his focus, purpose, and superpowers in a clear, singular focus. When he's at X, he's at X. When he's at Tesla, he's at Tesla, and so on. Walter expected the opposite and was surprised that he doesn't take calls from other companies while he's on his current step. Success is built sequentially, one thing at a time. I'm reporting back, by the way, on my son's fitness sequence. Remember that episode? He's been so faithful on his steps. He's finding his gains, and then another. So finally, I said, look, son, all right, I'm impressed. Can I hire you to be my trainer? It took me a minute to say it, but I wasn't being nice either. This was strictly business, strictly about the gains. I got immediate results the very first session. I was reminded the power of sequence. Anybody can just show up and lift something heavy, move it from here to there. But when you dial in the sequence, commit to the sequence, show up early to your steps, run them up, and then run them down, special things happen. And write this down: special gains special. It brought peace to first ready, aim, fire. That's what I did to my podcast, in case you are wondering. You remember, come on. Maybe you don't. A year ago, I started the beginning saying, listen up, I'm gonna hit you up with 50 episodes this year. I did a few, and then what? In spite of eager enthusiasm and good intention, my sequence was off. I just needed to fix the steps in my podcast sequence. Hence, as always, this stuff is by me and for me. So I stopped recording and I went all the way back to ready. That felt weird. It felt weird to stop recording to do better at my podcast. Strange. I got my notebooks going. I watched the game tape. I watched some film again and again. I got to work on my problems. I got to work on my axe. I got the stone grinder out for my tools. I needed to sharpen it up. I had some other important competing projects. I felt like I was getting C's across my report card. So when I went back to ready, I said, let's get one good grade at a time. Let's get one strong A. And then, and only then, can we move on to the next class. I did my first class, A. Then I did my second class, A. Okay, sequence matters. And it brought gains because even though I wasn't recording the actual podcast, the microphone sitting down like I am right now, you're listening, I'm talking, we're doing the podcast thing, it wasn't like I was lifting the weights, but I was doing the notebooks, the reading, the supplement plan, working on the money, fixing up that, making it stronger, fixing up my relationships, actively getting ready. It was building the podcast. Actually recording, that step was on 14. But I needed to go back to step 2 to fix my time management. That was all. I had to go back down and then run back up again. Careful when you get impatient and overzealous. Skipping steps, eventually your toe catches and you fall. Well, speaking of hitting steps, this is the last one for today. This is the last in the mini-series of Fire, Aim, Ready. I have learned so much. I've changed much. I hope you have too, right? For the same reason every single time, because the world needs who you were meant to be. I believe it. Do you?